it's Adele and Abra from Just Say Scrap, and we are here with Technique Tuesday. So we are continuing on our holiday project theme, and we are very excited about it, so make sure you watch our video to see what we're doing.
All right, so another installment of our Christmas or holiday projects here. So today we are going to be making gift bags, which were inspired by our friend Kim Wolff. So thank you, Kim, for sharing this with us. So we actually have just our cutter here, and we need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper. We decided to take 2 sheets from our Silver Bells line. So I'm just going to cut the zip strips off of these, and we are going to get started.
April.
Yes.
What would happen if you left the zip strip on it and let it be part of the top that you fold over?
Well, okay, I will do that too. So just kidding, I'm not cutting off the zip strip. I am going to change out my blade though. Mom just had a good idea, so let's see how this goes. Just a note, we have written this down on a piece of paper because we don't want to forget it. But when you're using something like this, that's not a scoreboard. It's like a scoring thing on your cutter. You want to make sure that if you score at a 1/2 inch, this is just what we wrote. If you score at a 1/2 inch on your paper, it's going to end up being 7 1/16 of an inch. So when you are scoring your paper, you have to do a 1/16 less than what you want. Does that make sense? Okay. And remember, when you're scoring, when you push it down, there's going to be a bumped edge. That's actually what you're folding towards because it's the wrong way, which is the right way. But all right, so how we're going to do this is it's going to be 2 inches around every side that we're going to be scoring. So we're technically going to put this at...
Except for the top.
Except for the top because I have the zip strip. But we're going to be putting it at a 1/16 less. So it's that tiny, tiny little one that we're going to end up putting that on. So it's going to be slightly less. Just because of the way that the scoring works. But because of the top, we have that 1/2 inch zip strip. We're going to move that to 2.5, which would then be 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 16ths. So for this, with me leaving the zip strip on, I'm going to be scoring it this way. You don't want to put too much pressure because you don't want to kill your cardstock. But you can also, if you don't have a score blade, take a bone folder too in the groove and actually score it that way too. So I did the first one that way because I'm going to be folding this one this way. However, I do want to push my score a little bit more on the others. However, for these, we are going to be turning it the opposite. So the stripes, which are going to be the outside of the bag, are going to be facing us. So these are 2 inches, which I said... Remember, you want to do it at 15 16ths. So we've got all of our scoring. So now we just got to fold. So remember, it's 2 inches on every side. So we are just going to fold along all of our score lines. The stripes are going to be the outside of our bag. But we did that score line on the top opposite because the way that this is going to be is it going to give us a design on the top of our bag. And Mom's right, the zip strip looks awesome.
Yay!
And if you have a bone folder or something like that, you can also use that just to make sure that those lines are nice and smooth. One more thing that we are going to do though, however, is we are going to score one more line. So what we're going to do now is we're going to score it as 1 inch, which is going to end up being 15 16ths. And it's going to be the opposite way that you scored the last one. So we're going to do that on this side. However, on this side, we don't have to go all the way. So we're going to go from here to 2 inches. So we're not going to score that the full way. We're going to just go to 2 inches. And then the same on this side. And you're going to see why we're doing this double scoring. I just folded the bag so you could see what it looks like. But, all right, the bottom, this is the bottom leg. We only want to do it all the way to the top to that. So this was the bottom 2 inches that we didn't score. All right. So now we're going to take this bottom one. We're also going to score this at 1 inch. But this one's going to go across the entire length. And you're going to see why in a second. So it's going to go across the entire length. All right, so then let's fold these score lines. So this one's going to get folded like that. And before we fold the others, we're going to take a scissor. I know it's on pattern paper, so it's a little bit more difficult to see. But remember we had that scored the first time? I'm actually going to do it on the stripe side. It's easier for me to see. We're going to then take that and go up to that 2-inch mark. So see how I cut that right like that? And it's going to be on the side that this is the bag. So it's the sides. See how these are the sides of the bag? It's the bottom that is still a full 12 by 12 piece of paper. So we had done that. We had scored this bag. So this bag is now scored like this. And then we are also going to do the same with the side. Remember, we just scored this. So we want to now just make sure that these are like this. And we're going to end up gluing these. So we have to do this now again with the other bag. So these are actually going to come up and see how that attaches onto the bag like that, but we can still end up folding it. So we're going to glue this with some liquid glass. We're going to do the other side because we got to do the exact same thing. And then we will be back. So that time I did all the scoring without actually folding it. So I wanted you to see that you can do that. And all you got to do is cut these two. So remember, this one is going to be folded the opposite way. So we get that extra design pattern on the top. Then this side gets folded in. And then we fold it back out to create that side of the bag. Same with this. And then back out to create that part of the bag. And then this bottom one gets folded in. And then that other one that we scored gets folded down like that. And then we can take these two edges and glue them together. All right, so now that you have your two bags pieces, you can stick them together like that and see how those line up when they're folded. And the bottom of the bag will do the same. We just got to glue it all together and then we will have a bag. So let us glue the bases together first because I feel like that's the easiest. And then we can glue the side pieces. All right, well, as you see, my liquid glass is seen better days. So I think I'm going to throw this one out and get my other one. So I do have a precision tip on this one. So just ignore that. It's going to just come out a little slower. But this is good if I wanted to fill in all the rest of those little corners. Because with a bag like this, you definitely want it to be secure. If you get liquid glass on your hands, it is a weird feeling. Not gonna lie about that, right, Mo?
Yep.
It's a very weird feeling, but you can run your hands under hot water and just like kind of rub them a little bit and it will come off. It just takes a few seconds. So don't be afraid to get a little bit of liquid glass on your fingers. But like I said, I'm just being super cautious of this because Remember, this is a gift bag. So if you want to be able to put a gift in it, you want it to be strong. So that's why I'm just going around all of my edges, even though I did liquid glass the entire thing. You could use like score tape or something like that too. Something that's strong. I just find that liquid glass is a very strong adhesive, so I prefer to use this than score tape. But to each their own. I've glued my shoes with this. It's my go-to. That is how much I rely on liquid glass. So just making this bag strong along the bottom.
These bags are so cute, and you can customize them to whatever papers you have. It doesn't have to be a holiday bag.
Nope.
It could be a birthday bag.
And this is a 12 by 12. You could make it a 6-inch bag. Like, you can make it smaller. You can, you know what I mean? Like, you could do a 6-inch pieces of paper. You could do something like that, make different kinds. You can make it a smaller bag. You can just score it at 1 inches instead. Then you'll have 1 inch around instead of the 2 inches around. You can make it more like square by doing 3 inches around if you want, and still 2 inches or an inch at the top. You can kind of customize it to whatever size you need. If I confused everybody, I'm sorry. My brain thinks in numbers, so I'm like, oh, you can make this design like 1 inch on the top, and then you have more time. That's just how my brain works. All right, perfect. So you do have a little lip on some of the edges, but that's just because the paper has to sit into it and, you know, not perfect for everything. But your bag is now complete. So this is not how you're going to use a bag though, right? We need stuff still. There's nothing to make it into a bag. Don't have handles. So why we scored the edges is it makes this, see how I can now like have that kind of close, and you could do it throughout the bottom. And then once it's dry, I'm not going to do it right now. I can also make it so like if I want to put the bag away, I can fold it. But it will now close nicer at the top there. So I took a bunch of my Christmas ribbon and let's decide what we like better with the bag. I like to keep extras, so I like this one. I think this one's really pretty. I think that's actually what the big, yeah, that's what that is. The big ribbon. I also have this really pretty, like, gold one, too. I've got a smaller gold one. Ooh, I like that one a lot. Or I brought out gnomes. But I think the gnomes, no, I don't like the gnomes as much. So, Mom, what do you think about that one?
That one looks really pretty.
All right. So this is why I keep my scrap ribbons, because when you're holiday season, you know, you never know if you need a small ribbon or something. So I always just roll up my ribbons. This is what I've learned from Mother. Except now the last few years, she's like, throw out all the ribbons. And I'm like, no, I want the ribbons. If your ribbons are a little bent like this too, you can just take a straightener and just straighten that right out. But I
don't make it too hot though.
Yes, don't melt your ribbon. But I don't have time for that. All right, so I know that this is very tiny for this kind of a bag, but you can also take a hole punch. But if you have one of these, our Versamat is also self-healing, which is nice. And if you have one of these, a T-square ruler, you can measure out exactly where the holes are going to go. So I'm going to just take my T-square ruler. It's about 8 inches across. And I do want to go down maybe an inch-ish because I don't want it to pull through the top, even though it is thicker because of this. So it's about 8 inches. So I'm going to go 2 inches from the edge from each, just to give enough space with the ribbon. All right, so we finally got through there. Obviously, this ribbon is a little thick, so you could always get it through there if you need to. I would actually burn the end of this ribbon to make it a little bit easier, but So what I'm doing here is I'm just making that inside part really, really tight. And I tied a knot inside of it. And I'm just going to trim these down. And I'm going to go get a lighter to burn the ends of these. So then when it's in here, it stays nice. So let me just come right back. Well, that one burned. Well, usually it just melted, but I guess this ribbon doesn't like that as much. So it's kind of setting a little fire to my ribbon. But you know what? It's now crunchy and it won't. Ooh, it smells like burnt ribbon. But it won't, definitely won't fray. Thank you. Right now. But there you go. You have it. So you can pull it open a little bit more to get more into that bag. Looks really cute from the side. But yay! Made your own gift bag. That's Technique Tuesday.
And that was Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. We made a gift bag.
Pretty.
So you could definitely take more papers if you need a bigger bag or something like that. Kind of take the same concept as what we did. But isn't that so cute?
Mm-hmm.
Super functional. You can even write handmade with love on the bottom because I like to write those on all my cards and stuff. So we got a gift bag. And that zip strip idea was a really good idea. You could always add like a ribbon or something in between there too. But it does really make it look like a bag. Like, I mean, obviously it's a bag. But I didn't actually glue this part down. So, you know, it makes it seem like something. You could actually stick a tag or something in there. You could ink on these.
Makes it fancy.
You could stamp on them. You know, you could have a lot of fun with this. So, but that's it. So we will see you next Tuesday for our next holiday project. Bye.
Bye.
Another one bites the dust. How am I gonna cut this hole? Didn't do anything. Hole punch time. All right, so I have Brendan's hole punch. Which I don't know if this is gonna work very well. Hey, but the two holes line up perfectly to where, but it doesn't go in far enough.
Oh, that's going to be a problem.
Yep. Oh, wait, I found another one of those sets. Hold on. Let's look at this. Let's see if this one works better. Flare. Oh, my God, this cat.